65 years. That's how long this recipe for fantasy fudge has been in my family. It all started with my great-grandmother, which then was passed down to my grandmother, and then to my mom and her siblings. Everyone in the family loves it. We take it to every event that we have, whether it's a birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you name it, we have the fudge there. Everyone in the family absolutely loves it. And we also take it to events outside of the family. I've taken it to school functions. My friends will text me on their birthday saying, "Can your mom please make me a batch for fudge?" It's been entered into fairs and festivals. Actually, it won first place at the 4-H festival a couple years ago. Everyone who eats the fudge loves it. And they always ask us, you know, what's your secret? What do you put in it? And my mom always says, oh, it's a secret family recipe. And so I thought it really was just, you know, a secret family recipe. And one day when my mom was making the fudge, she asked me if I would go to the cabinet and get the Jet Puff marshmallow that you use with the fudge. And I was just looking at the bottle, and I saw that on the side it says Fantasy Fudge. And I thought to myself, well, that's what we call our fudge. And then I was looking at the ingredients and the steps, and I was like, that's the exact same thing that we do. So I asked my mom about it. I was like, you know, it's the exact same thing. And she said, you're right, it is, because that's the recipe that we use. Turns out my great-grandmother made the fudge using this and took it to an event. Everyone loved it. They asked her what she put in it, and she decided to just run along with it and say it's a secret family recipe. So for 65 years, we've just been passing it off like that, but really anyone can make this fudge because it's right on the can. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to make the fantasy fudge. So when you're starting out, you have to first get your baking equipment. So you're going to need a 13 by 9 baking pan, and then a 2 quarts cooking pot, a 1 cup measuring cup, a 1/3 cup measuring cup, 1 teaspoon, and a large spoon so that you can stir everything. So that's the equipment that you need for making the fudge. Now your ingredients, you're going to need 1½ sticks of butter, 3 cups of sugar, 2/3 cup of evaporated milk, a whole bag of chocolate chips, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then a whole jar of the Jet Puff marshmallow. So when you're starting out, first you're going to take your 13 by 9 pan, and you're just going to grease it with a stick of butter just so that it gets a little moist, and you're going to set that aside because that's not going to come in until later on. So you grease the pan, you set it aside, and then you get your cooking pot, and you're going to put the 1½ sticks of butter in the pot, and you're going to put it on the stove, and you're going to set the stove to medium. Now, when it's set to medium with the butter in there, the butter is going to start to melt in the pot, as you can see in the picture, and you're just going to let it melt. And as it continues to melt, that's when you're going to add in your 3 cups of sugar and your 2/3 cup of evaporated milk in with the butter. And then you're just going to start to stir all of that together, and as you continue to stir it, it's going to keep heating up and getting hotter, and once it gets to the boiling point, and it's going to look exactly like this, you're going to already have your timer set for 5 minutes. Now, as soon as you see it boil, you're going to hit that timer to start. No more, no less than 5 minutes. My mom always says that the best fudge is the fudge that's baked for 5 minutes exactly. Nothing more, nothing less, 5 minutes. That's really important. So as it's boiling for the 5 minutes, you're going to periodically stir it still, and then as soon as the 5 minutes is up, you're going to take it off of the stove, and immediately you're going to add in your chips. Now, our family, we always use chocolate chips. Sometimes we use peanut butter chips when we want to make peanut butter fudge, but it's not as popular with everyone. It doesn't taste as good in our opinion, so we always do the chocolate because that's what everyone raves about. So you're going to put the whole bag of the chocolate chips in there. And then since you just got it off the pot, it's going to be hot, and so you're going to mix the chips in, they're going to start to melt, and everything's going to blend together as you can see. And then as you continue to stir it, you're going to get your vanilla extract and your 1 teaspoon measuring cup, and you're going to put that in there, and then you're going to stir that through as well. Now, once you have all that together, that's when you get the Kraft Jet Puff marshmallow. Now, our family, we always use the Kraft Jet Puff because it just tastes better. There are other marshmallow creams out there, but they don't taste as good. We've baked with them, and it's not the same. And plus, this is the one that we stole the recipe from, so if you're going to make it, you might as well just make it with the Kraft. So you're going to put the whole entire thing of the Kraft in there, and then you're going to start to mix that through. And as you can see, you're kind of fluffing it through. You're still mixing everything together, and the marshmallow's in there. And then once you have all of that together, you're going to get that 13 by 9 pan that you had greased earlier, and you're going to pour all your contents into that pan. Now, once it's all in the pan, you're going to move it around so that it covers the whole pan. And then you're going to take it to the table and you're going to lightly tap it on there just so it sets in the pan the way that it should. Now, for the most part, the process with the fudge is done, but it does have to sit because you just got it out of the stove and everything, so it's still hot. So you're going to have to let it sit, and our family, we usually just have it sit overnight so that it cools down and gets that fudge texture with it. But if you're planning to serve it in a couple hours or something, you can always just stick it in the fridge for a little bit. And then when you're ready to serve it, you're going to get your knife and you're going to cut it into the squares, like the size that fudge normally is. And you can put it on a plate or you can put it in a baggie, however you want, and serve it. So that's how you make the fudge. So if you ever feel like making it and you're wondering, well, what was his secret family recipe? Go to the store, buy yourself Kraft Jet Puff Marshmallow Cream, look right on the side to the Fantasy Fudge, and follow those instructions because it's the exact same secret family recipe that we've had for 65 years. So now that I've shown you guys exactly how to make it, I'm going to let you all try some.